Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Nikki McCutchen. I will be your host. We are so excited that you're joining us. Whoever invited you to this call, just know that they must really care about you to want you to know about this technology. We are absolutely watching it change people's lives, and the stories that we have for you tonight are going to just blow your socks off. So we are super excited. But before we get started, I'm just going to share the medical disclaimer. The call will be about for 30 minutes. All of the information and education that we are sharing tonight is for that in particular, for information and educational purposes only. All LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any dis-ease. If you're pregnant or nursing, please check with your healthcare practitioner first. And so with that, I am super excited to have my sweet friend, Margie, come on. She's going to tell us a little bit about her story and her grandson's story. And then she has been helping a lot of people in Puerto Rico. And so unfortunately, they can't come on because they mostly only speak Spanish. So we can't hear their call in that way. But I'm so excited that Margie's going to be able to come on so that all of us that don't speak Spanish are going to get to hear these stories as well. So we're super excited that she's willing to do that and just going to bless so many by sharing all of their stories with us. So with that, Margie, if you'll just come on and just tell us about you and how you got started, and we'll just start diving into the first thing that you noticed.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Those of you who do not know me, Margie Acevedo, and I was introduced to LifeWave through, well, first my daughter told me to call Nikki. I was at a point in my life where, and is everybody being able to hear me well? Okay, good. So I was at a point in my life back in March of last year, right after I had visited a doctor to inquire about stem cell injections. That same day was when I called Nikki because my daughter said, I was kind of disappointed because when I met with the doctor, he said, "You're definitely a candidate. You've got all these conditions, back, neck, all you name it, shoulders, and you qualify for the injection, but it's $5,000 each, and I needed at least five." And the magic word for me was, "But we can't tell you if it's going to work." And I'm like, "Oh, no, no." Okay. So when I left, I was a little sad. And my daughter called me and said, "Mom, you know what? I know of a friend of mine, and she mentioned patches, stem cell activation patches." And I said, "Okay, give me her number and I will call her." And so I called Nikki, and Nikki immediately, correct, I ordered. I said, "Okay, let's do this," because I'm not, when you're suffering after 15 years with severe back pain, back surgery, two neck surgeries, you can't sleep, you can't sit for very long, you can't stand for very long, you can't walk for very long. I used to walk with a cane in order to support myself because I had several falls. So you get to the point where, like, I'm going to try anything on this planet. And so the patches came in, and on the third day, and I'm telling you, and this is kind of like dramatic, but we had bought these mattresses for our bed, and my husband had to eliminate the box springs because I could not get up on the bed. That's how severe my pain was, just so you guys can have an understanding of that. And so that morning when I get up, I usually hold myself on the nightstand and I try to push myself up to get up. But that morning I had like a bounce, and I'm like, so I sat up. I'm like, wait a minute. And I had to hold myself, wait a minute, what? And I started twisting myself, and I'm like, and so I woke Juan up. He was my husband. He was right behind me. I said, "Juan." He said, "What?" He thought something had happened. I said, "I don't know if this is real or if this is what's going on, but I don't have any pain." And he said, "What?" And so I started bawling. I mean, I got up, I went up, I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing my face and everything, and I'm bawling and I'm moving around because people, when you go through this, and you don't feel that pain, you're like, you're still like in shock, like you can't believe it. So anyway, and the rest is history after that, because the pain has not come back. Now I do have to wear my patches. I will say that because I think there was a week when I had received my patches and I didn't get them in time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get my patches. I got to get my patches. You, you know, and so because it takes care of the inflammation. Now, the two patches that I started with was Eon and X39, those two. So that basically at that point in time, March of last year, it was amazing. I mean, and so I came in as a PC Plus customer. And then I called Nikki. I think it was about a month after that when I called
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to Nikki, look, I know I'm not going to be quiet about this. I'm going to share this with other people that I love and that I care for, that I know that are in pain. So I need to become a partner. And so without knowing anything, I don't know anything about network marketing. I don't know how to sell anything. I just had the passion and the desire, because this is the thing, y'all. When you're in such pain, okay, and there's other things I could tell you about that has been going on, but let's focus on the pain. When you're in pain and something like this changes your life, you're like, okay, I got to tell everybody. I just got to tell everybody. At that point in time, like I said, I didn't need a job. I was basically retired. I'm like, okay, with my husband, and so, and we're well, we have a decent house. I mean, Nikki's been there.
Adorable.
And
Yes.
so I wasn't looking for extra income or anything, but this blew my mind. I said, no, I got to help people. So, and if it blesses me, then I'm going to bless others. And that's what I do. So the patches have blessed me, and then I take the patches and I bless other people. That's just me. Okay. So the other things that I started seeing in me, and I hope 30 minutes is, yeah, we're good, 7:10. The other things that I noticed in me, the second part was, and this I gave my testimony, but I had gone to it's a health coach.
Okay,
And
can I stop you real quick before you share
yes,
that part?
yes,
So, okay, so tell us how many years young you are.
I'm 65.
65, awesome. And you started out with the Eon and the X39. She had
Yes,
debilitating pain. That, just so you know, that doesn't always work for everyone. Sometimes people need our ice wave, which breaks the pain frequency. Eon
right.
reduces inflammation. X39 regenerates stem cells. But she was able, it just worked. Those two were enough for her. So just know that sometimes
Yes,
people need more than that. It
that's right.
doesn't always work that quickly. Hers was 3 days in where she noticed all of these things, which, praise the Lord, we were all praising the Lord,
I know.
because ultimately it's Him, right? This is just a patch. This is just something that activates what He's already given us, what He's already put in our bodies, so that our bodies will do what they're designed to do. So it completely is all Him. All glory goes to Him for our bodies being able to do what they were designed to do by this amazing technology. So she was talking about stem cells, and the only comparison, so she was talking about $25,000 for stem cell injections that may not even work. So what we're talking about is pennies on the dollar compared to that. We're talking years and years and years use of both the X39 and the Eon every single month for her to get those kinds of results. And here's the other thing. Those stem cell injections were going into her body to only do one thing, to help with one area or a couple of areas. If she got them in different, in her neck, in her back, wherever in her knee, if she got them in different spots. This technology activates multiple body systems so that you have full body support. You need to understand there is nothing else on the market. There is no comparison to what this technology can do for your body and for your life. There is, and we're not even talking to anywhere close to $25,000 for a very, very long time. And you have something that is giving your body regeneration ability for full body support. There is no comparison to that. So I just want to make sure everybody understands the brevity of what this technology can actually do for
Right.
you. And Margie's going to tell us some more things now with her heart and going to the health coach, which is
Yeah,
why this technology goes beyond even just pain. So go ahead, Margie.
exactly. So I went to a health coach to kind of see overall, how I'm doing. And so Nikki had actually recommended us to do that, and I went, and the markers on my heart came out like there was something going on. And so and this was, of course, this was last year. And so what I did was I went to the health coach told me you need to see a cardiologist. That's how serious it was. And I said, okay. So I did my appointment. I went to the cardiologist. They started with, with the heart scan, the heart monitor and all that and all this other stuff. And then I went and did a Kraft scan. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kraft, the brand Kraft. And it's a pretty incredible scan. And then so I had that done in September of last year. And then in December, my doctor that she's here in Tulsa. She's a doctor, but she also likes to do medicine, natural medicine. And so I was telling her about the patches, and I said how I was feeling and all that. And then about the heart, she said, well, you know what? Because I asked her, I said, do you think I should do the heart scan with the contrast, where they put you like in an MRI machine? And she said, absolutely, because I want to see what's going on in the heart. I want to see what these patches are doing. And I said, okay. So I had that done December, I think it was December the 6th. And when she actually called me, because they get it through my chart and they get the results through my chart. And she said, well, I've got good news for you. And I said, what? And she said, the calcification in your artery was 54%, and it's down to 34.7 in 3 months. And I about fell out of my chair, because when you think that I started these patches because of my pain, my neck, my back, my shoulder, I had no idea that I was also helping my heart in the process. So these patches, this technology was also starting to repair my heart. Now, when I started on the heart journey, let's say, I added patches. And the patches that I added was X49, Energy Enhancer, and Carnosine every day. And even the Carnosine, I would put it right on my heart. And with faith, because every time I put my patches on, I pray. And I said, Lord, this is your technology. You gave David Smith the wisdom. This is yours. And there's a reason for this. And so no pills, no shots, no nothing. And these patches are taking care of my heart. Then the other good news came in, where for 10 years, I was using high blood pressure medicine because my blood pressure would not go down for nothing. Well, I'm off of high blood pressure medicine, y'all. 117/70. Okay.
Yeah. Praise the
I
Lord.
mean, and so in my mind, I thought, if I would not have been on these patches, I probably would have had a heart attack. And I asked Dr. Vineyard, and I said, would that have been possible? She said, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
So when we use these patches, we can't think, okay, I'm taking it because I have, neck pain, or I'm taking it because I want more energy, or I'm taking it because I want to be beautiful. No, it's repairing the inside of our bodies. And how amazing that, well, to me, that was like a liberation.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Let's see, how long had you been using the technology? And then you find out that you have a heart thing going on.
that I started.
And then the change.
Okay. So in September, I found out about my heart. In September, I had that Kraft scan, and I have it because I showed it on my testimony. I have the results. It's in black and white, and you can see it there. I went in September, had the Kraft scan, and then in December was when I went. So 3 months. But in September was when I started with all my patches, with the
Yeah. So
X49,
3 months later.
X39.
Okay. So let's talk
3
about that
months.
real quick. So X39, just so you know, does everything in the body, everything the body needs, because they're pluripotent stem cells that can go anywhere and do anything. They also, so that in particular peptide, GHK copper peptide, supports the entire cardiovascular system. So she was having support. But because that does so much in the body, we could add some other patches that have some more specific types of needs for the heart that would help move things along quicker, because GHK copper peptide is doing so many things in your body. It has a lot of things that it's going to tend to based on where it wants to use that. So she adds X49, which is also another stem cell activation technology that elevates AHKCU. So it's a daughter peptide to GHK copper peptide. Those types of stem cells are more specific to the heart, to the brain, to the muscle tissue, to the bone. So it increases, it stops bone loss and increases bone density. But also, like I said, very specific to the muscle and the heart in particular. Carnosine, she had the carnosine patches. Carnosine is a master antioxidant in the body. It is found in the heart. It is found in the brain. It helps to support the glycation process, which is whenever your blood sugar spikes, we age. It balances that out so that your blood sugar does not spike as often. So it helps with that process as well. So you can see with these patches, I've just told you a few things that some of these, I'm going to have Vicki come on if there's anything you want to add with those patches, because we're talking about full body total support, and then we can add things as well to the X39 to have probably usually quicker results, like with what Margie was seeing in the heart. So she was already getting support, but we needed to bump that up a step. She also added the energy enhancer. I've listened to several videos here this last week on energy enhancer, and I feel like, oh my goodness, it is an unsung hero in what it does for the movement of the lymphatic system in your body, because things get stuck. Energy, pain, things get stuck in the body, and the energy enhancer allows that to move. So Margie adding those was brilliant, because when I'm talking to somebody about, what they should add for their heart, I usually don't think of the energy enhancer because there's so many others. But because of the movement that creates, it allows your body to then go and use those things and move those things out of the body so that they're not stuck. They're not stagnant. It's not stagnant in your heart. It's not stagnant in your blood vessels. So even GHK with the X39 supports the blood vessels. It's already doing that. It's already helping to help to support the lining of the blood vessels and all of those parts and pieces. So, but that's a few things. Like, I'm giving you just a few things of each one of those things in the body and what they do. So Vicki, do you have any other things you want to just add as we're just like quickly talking about what these other patches do?
No, you covered it basically each and everything. I was like, yep, you ran down perfect. But yeah, it makes perfect sense, especially with the X49 combined with the X39. You add your energy enhancer, get all the energy circulating throughout the body. So yeah, I mean, it's just amazing. I really don't feel like there's not anything that these patches cannot do. Like you said, Margie, you pray before you put them on. And it's God's design, it's his tool, and he's just using this to help this body along. We got to carry this around. And I was just, walking around today and just praying and talking to him, and it said, why do people want to suffer? I mean, it just breaks my heart. You know what I mean? It's like I offer and offer sometimes, and this is mainly like family members. So extended family, extended family.
Same here.
I hear of different things. People get ailments and illnesses, or they're sick and stuff. And I reach out, and it's like, it's not received as healing for their body. It's more like the quack kind of. So they're into modern medicine where they take the pills, they listen to the doctors. And I just pray for them, because there'll be a matter of time where they'll just come and be like, I say, you tried everything they told you to do. What do you got to lose at this point, right?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, so Margie, back to your story. And
That's
so,
exactly, that's exactly how I feel. You know, you can only be the messenger, and people will see your life, will see your testimony. I do need to find a picture of me last year and this year and kind of compare it, because there's also so many changes physically in my body that I can see, you know, my muscle toning up, my it's just so many things that are happening that are so positive that you actually can actually look in the mirror and you see what's going on. So
when
it's a
did you get
blessing.
rid of the cane?
I just got rid of it.
Yeah, but was it day 3? Did you keep using it after day 3?
No, no. I mean, I didn't need it anymore.
Right, yeah. So I don't know if you guys can tell this, but like look at like every part of her body is moving. Like
Yeah.
there's no restriction,
Oh
there's
no.
no there's
Listen.
no nothing that's, jerking at her, or when she was using a cane, y'all, like I mean, she's now free. Like
Yeah.
this
Oh
is
yeah.
so amazing.
Well,
So yes, so keep going.
even people at my church, like they remember seeing me getting up because I can't sit very long. I used to get up, go in the back and just stand, come back, sit down. And they've questioned me that, you know, and I tell them, I said, you know, it's the technology, it's these patches, and you know, if you want the same thing, then I'll be more than happy to help you. But anyway, I need to move on because I've got so many things to talk about, and I think we have like, oh my gosh, 6
Yeah,
minutes.
we'll go over. I'm gonna let you
Okay,
go first.
so I want to talk about my grandson Jack because
Yes.
he's 17, and a lot of people say, oh, they're young, you know, they don't need those patches. They need the patches, and I'll tell you why. Jack, last year had an accident. He's a football player and has been a football player all of his life since he was a little boy. And Nikki knows Jack.
Mhm.
And so he had a fall. He had a fracture in his back. And I had just started like kind of on the patches, and I hear about what had happened to Jack. I come over to the house, and of course I had my patches with me. I do not go anywhere without my patches. Anyway, so I said, what happened? I saw him when he was trying to like bend down. He couldn't bend down. And I'm like, what's going on? Then Shelly tells me what happened. And I said, oh, here. I took out my little notebook and I said, here, X39, Eon, and put it on. And I gave him, I think it was a week's worth. And then Shelly went ahead and ordered it after a week because in less than, I think that same day, that he started feeling kind of weird and different and all that. And within a week, he was like normal.
And you forgot to
And
say that he was told that he would never play
that he
sports
was told,
again.
I'm sorry, I was going to get into
Yeah.
that. He
Yeah.
was told that he might not be able to play football anymore because of his injury. Well, that was devastation for Jack. And I knew it, but he's a very quiet boy and he's not very, you know, he's just very quiet. But I knew he was hurting inside. And so I said, Jack, let's just try this. You trust me? You trust your Abu? He says, I trust you, Abu. Yeah. So let's do it. And so he started with it. And Shelly calls me and says, that's when she placed the order because she was a little skeptical too. And she said, Mom, we're going to go ahead and order the patches because Jack is feeling a lot better. And I'm like, good. Then he gets a call from his coach because he said, can I come in and do practice? Because I don't have any pain. And then the coach said, yeah. He was back to practicing in 2 weeks.
Mhm.
In 2 weeks after
Praise
his
the Lord.
patches. He last year he played football. His team won the state championship
Mhm.
for
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
So that for me, and I cried watching him because I knew that God and this technology made it happen. And then Jack has another injury on his foot. And so it was his ankle. And he comes home and, you know, he's limping. And so he goes, grabs the Eon patches. He put 2 Eon patches on his ankle. The swelling went down immediately. And the next day he was back to playing. So Jack, if you ask Jack if you're going to stop using these patches, he'll tell you, no, I'm going to use these patches forever. He's 17, y'all. He knows. He knows what this is capable of helping him with. Stamina, energy, you name it, and he wants all of that. And he feels it in his body, you know, so he's like, okay, Abu, I'm sold. So
And
that
he's
was my
recovering
jet.
quicker. Yeah, he's recovering quicker from all the hard
Oh
practices. He
yeah.
notices the recovery
Yeah,
time.
he recovers quicker. He has more energy. He has more stamina. I'm telling you, they won the championship last year, and
Yeah.
he was playing like a beast.
Yeah.
And just to see him, I was like, oh my gosh, that was exciting, you know.
That's
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next testimony because we're running out of time.
awesome.
In
Yes.
Puerto Rico. Okay, so the first, my cousin Elba, she was the first one that when I got to the house, I got to my cousin's house, she was sitting on a dining room table. I'll never forget it. And you can see in her face the pain. You can see
Mhm.
she's 50, she's only 51. And I said to her, what's going on? Are you okay? And she says, oh, I got dizzy spells. I got this. And I said, well, what's wrong? And she said, I have Meniere's disease. And Meniere's disease, for those of you who do not know what that is, it gives you severe episodes on your ear, but it produces vertigo, it produces tinnitus, it produces hearing loss, and the feeling that you like your ear is full. So, and then if she would bend down, she would get dizzy and she would fall. She couldn't drive. She couldn't do daily things in her home. So she was at a point, she was very depressed. She was just at a point, it was terrible. So I said to her, when she answered me, I have this condition in my ear, and I looked at her and I said, I've got some patches here that I can help you with if you let me. And she looked at me and said, oh yeah. And I said, they're all natural. There's no chemicals in here. It's not going to interfere with what you're doing, but let's just try and see how you feel. Well, I called on my team. I called on Pastor Ed and Nikki and Vicky and what protocol do I do for this ear thing? And I think I finished putting like maybe 7 or 8 patches around her ear and her head. And immediately she started feeling like there was an electric shock going through her head and her body. And she said, is that normal? She panicked. And I said, it's normal. Just drink some water. And we're just going to breathe. And we're just going to see what happens. Y'all, she went home with the patches, right? She comes back the next day. And I kid you not, because that's how Latinos are. That's how we are. We're very vocal. And all our hands are moving. And we're very expressive. And she comes in that door and she's, where's Margie? Where's Margie? And I'm like, what's going on? Are you okay? I was literally, I was, what happened? She goes, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Look, and she's bending down. I'm bending down and I'm not getting vertigos. And I'm doing this. And I got up this morning and I have more. She was like, what is this? So of course I hugged her and we both started crying because that's what this is all about, right? When somebody
Yeah.
sees the breakthrough, we get all
Right.
emotional and then we hug each other and we started crying. And then we sat down a little longer and I explained to her. And so we kept patching her. Well, she became my first brand partner in Puerto Rico because she was like, there's no way I can't share. Mind you guys, my cousin Elba does not know computer. There's no excuses here. She's not techie savvy at all, when I tell you. But I told her, if you want to share this technology with people that you love and care for, I am here for you. And we will
Awesome.
make this happen together
That's awesome.
because
Yeah.
that's what I believe in. And so she has been doing amazing, y'all. She has been, and Nikki knows this about Elba. She's been bringing people in like crazy. I just signed a brand partner under her today. And so it's been awesome, because people are seeing her testimony and they're seeing that this works,
Mhm.
And so I'm going to move on to the next one because we're not running out of time. So the next one I'm going to talk about, her name is Lydia. Lydia, she's 60 years old, okay? And she was the first one that Elba brought in as a brand partner too. And with Lydia, she suffers from fibromyalgia, carpal tunnel, on many prescriptions. And I had to put some notes because it was just so much. It was overwhelming. And the region where they live in Orocovis, it's like, and they're dying. This is the sad part, And so this lady, only 60 years old, very, very sick, very, very sick. She was in deep depression, okay? She didn't want to live anymore. She just didn't want to deal with this until she got a hold of me. when I talked to her. I said, listen. It felt like electrical going down all her body from the tip of her head to her toes. She felt like electricity. And I had told her, I had coached her on to what to do, the water and the electrolytes, and just to make sure that, she's eating right, because that's other things. So let's see, I'm going to my notes. So day one, she said she felt like a boost of energy that hit her body. And then she had problems lifting her left leg. She couldn't lift it. She had to like help her leg to go up. And where she lives, she has to go up and down 50 stairs, stairs. And so she would have to stop, go up a few, stop, go up a few, stop. And that's how bad it was. Because, when people have fibromyalgia, that's just, there's pain everywhere. You can't do much with that. So all of those things she was having to go through, right? But after she started to put the patches on and started to feel more energy, the pain subsiding, she can go up and go down the stairs without holding on to anything, without stopping.
Praise the Lord.
That woman, when I called her along with Elba, because I wanted to see, because I like to follow up with people. How you doing? What's going? What's happening? And she just started crying, and she said, "This." She said, "Estos parches." She calls it parche. "Estos parches! Oh my God, they're so amazing!" And she was crying over the phone, and so I said, "Look, you see, now you have another chance in life, and now your life is changing." So she's been on the patches, and that's Lydia. The other one, who's the other one I was going to talk about? I think that was it, because I spoke about Elba and I spoke about Lydia. Yes, so I think that's it. There's another one, that's Elba's sister, and she's on the patches too, and lots of conditions. Again, it's something weird that's going on in Puerto Rico, that diseases are popping up on their body. And so she was also in constant pain in her back, in her neck. She's on disability because of the pain and all of that. And so she started patching. She's doing great. And many more testimonials. I have another cousin that had MS. And what's the MS? How do you say MS?
Multiple
Muscular
sclerosis.
sclerosis.
Mhm.
Also, walking on a cane, couldn't hardly walk. When I patched him, when I was there, he started walking without the cane and feeling so much better. So all of
Praise
these
the Lord.
testimonies, and there's more, and I think where our time is way over past, and I'm sure we'll continue to share more. But what I want to say to anybody that's on the line that is thinking about it, or is thinking about sharing this technology, don't think about it anymore, because I'm telling you, you don't know what life you're going to save. My life was saved. That's how I see it, y'all. My life was saved. I'm going to be able to live longer now in a healthy way, to be able to see my grandchildren, or until the Lord comes and gets us in the rapture, and I feel so excited about that. It's exciting to feel good. I want to grow
Absolutely.
old gracefully, not
Yes.
with pills and this and that. No, I want to grow gracefully. So thank you for this opportunity. I really appreciate it, and many blessings to you all.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Margie, for sharing all of those stories with us. Just absolutely amazing. And we are just so thankful that we get to be a part of watching you just share this with the world, and continue to just spread what we have. And it makes all of us more excited and enthusiastic to just continue to share it, because we all have our little part, right? We all have our place. We all have our people that we know. And just to be able to offer this to people, and give them a hope for however many days that the Lord allows us to stay here, that we have the hope that we can live those days with high quality, with good quality of life, for as long as He leaves us here. So
One more thing.
great.
So I'm also using Alavida. And Nikki, you can attest to that, because you met me a year ago, and you
Yes.
can see the difference. So I
Absolutely.
love aloe vera cream, the patch. I mean, it has, I used to suffer from rosacea. I don't anymore. I
Mhm.
couldn't put any creams on my face because it would break out, and but this aloe vera product is amazing, and I love it. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
And that's another one where we talk about, all of the things that the patches actually do that we don't even talk about or probably even know all of the ways that they affect our bodies. Aloe vera is one of those super powerful patches that is promoted as, hair, skin, and nails that actually decalcifies the pineal gland. That because of the way that it supports collagen, it actually supports then all the lining of all the organs that you have in your body. It raises epithalamine. So go in and type in epithalamine and look at all the things that that does in your body. Just truly fabulous, helps with sleep. Just a fantastic patch, supports the colon, like random, all these other things that this does because it's helping the pineal gland and because it is then helping with the epithalamine in the body. Truly a very, very powerful technology that we have a hold of in that patch that we don't really ever talk about that much. So yes, with that, thank you all so much for being on here with us for just a little while longer. Please make sure that you get back to whoever invited you to this call tonight. Tell them, just like Margie said, that there is no more waiting. You're ready to get started on having your miracle, seeing what your miracle is going to be, seeing how these are going to bless and change your life, to feel better, to have better quality of life, to bring joy back because you feel good. When we feel good, it's amazing how much it changes your life. When you feel good, you truly have a different outlook and a different availability to you in life because your body feels good and you're not constantly dealing with pain. And so anyway, we are just so thankful that you're here. Thank you so much, Margie. We know you're going to bless so many people with all of these stories. So with that, we pray blessing over each and every one of you. Good night, everyone.
Good
Good night,
night. God bless.
everyone. Awesome. What a
Good
thrill.
night.
Thanks, Margie. You
Oh, you're
blessed us
welcome.